I'm so excited to be here and to be talking about COGS today. I get a lot of questions about COGS, and when I answer questions, or let me rephrase that, when someone wants to join the Build a Profitable Food Business Facebook group, I ask them a series of questions. And one of them is, what's something you want to learn from the group, or what is holding you back from achieving financial sustainability and profitability in your business? And to both of those questions, many food business owners respond cost of goods sold. I know that I need to get an understanding of them, but I'm not quite sure where to start, or I don't know how to manage them effectively to achieve financial sustainability and profitability in my business. So today we're sort of starting at the ground level in terms of COGS. We're covering three really important pieces of information. Number one, what is a COG, right? What are they for your business? Why are they important to track? And how can tracking them and understanding them for your business specifically help you build a profitable food business? So if you are here, I would love for you to say hello. If you're watching the recording, please say hello. If you are new to this page, my name is Sarah Delavan. I'm a food business financial consultant and coach and creator of the Financial Success Formula online program. So, what is a COG? Let me first spell it out for you, right? It's a cost of goods sold. If we go by the sort of textbook definition of what a COG is, it is the direct costs associated with producing the goods that your business sells. The definition that I use for the work that I do is a little bit different than that. In terms of COGS for food businesses, I define it as the direct costs associated with producing and selling your goods. And I can narrow that down and get a little bit more specific for you over the next couple of minutes. So these costs of goods sold associated with producing and selling your product are variable costs. That means that they are going to change each week or each month depending on how much you are producing and selling. Now, a typical definition of a cost of goods sold does not include sales, and I want to be very specific about which sales related things I include and which ones I don't. So the key term here is going to be variable cost. Okay? So when we're talking about the cost to produce your product, those are a bit more clear, right? Your ingredient costs, your packaging costs, right? The labor that goes into creating your products is also a cost of goods sold. I'm going to touch on how to deal with labor in just a second, but all of those things are the cost of creating your product. Then we've got the direct costs associated with selling your product. And the ones that I consider to be a COG are merchant fees, right? That cost of swiping a debit card or a credit card. If you send an invoice to your clients and they're paying electronically, that's a cost of goods sold, right? You got to pay that fee to swipe their card electronically. Also, the labor associated with, let's say, a farmer's market. That's hourly labor, right? That is associated with selling your product. That's a piece of labor that goes into the sales. If you didn't have that human there, you couldn't sell your products via the farmer's market. So all of those things are included. Did I say shipping? Shipping is also included. If you're selling your product online, there's a variable cost associated with getting that product to your client, and I consider that a cost of goods sold. These are unavoidable, necessary costs for producing, selling, and delivering your products. Those are all costs of goods sold. If you have any questions about that, feel free to comment in the comment box. So now let's dig a layer deeper, because there's a bit of a gray area to some of these things. One of the common gray areas is how to classify kitchen rental, specifically if you are a food business that does not rent a kitchen space for a flat fee every month, right? You might rent kitchen space by the hour, and you only rent the space as you need it to produce your goods. That makes your kitchen rental cost a cost of goods sold. Now, if you flipped that down the road and you started to rent kitchen space, full time, it was yours, you pay a flat, monthly rate regardless of how much you produce, then that's an operating cost. So if that describes how you rent your kitchen, then your kitchen rental is an operating cost. Cool? We should be hopefully clear on that. Now let's dive a little bit deeper into labor. Labor to produce and, in certain circumstances, sell your product, right? That hourly labor associated with things like the farmer's market, they are technically costs of goods sold. But there is a lot of value for you as a business owner in tracking your labor separate from the other cost of goods sold. And that might just look like a subcategory under cost of goods sold on your profit and loss statement, or as I like to do it with many of my clients, a completely separate labor category where I can see salary employee labor, hourly employee labor, payroll taxes, and any other fees associated with having employees all together. You can choose which way you want to record that for your business in terms of how you want to see it on your reports and how it makes the most sense for you. Okay, so let's recap really quickly. Cost of goods sold are the direct variable costs associated with producing and selling your product. They include things like your ingredient costs, your packaging costs, your merchant fees, your kitchen rental if it's hourly and variable month to month. And I lost my train of thought there. Did I say shipping fees and merchant fees? Okay. It also includes labor, but I recommend that you record your labor separately, either as a subcategory or a totally different category from the rest of your cost of goods sold. Provides a lot of valuable insight and information. So now that we know what our COGS are, we're going to talk about why they are so important to track. So again, this goes back to the fact that they are variable costs, meaning they're going to change based on how much you produce and sell each week and each month. So in terms of a dollar amount, they're going to look like they fluctuate wildly month to month, especially if you've got a business that has maybe peak seasons and low seasons, right? Or if you get a big wholesale order, your cost of goods sold in terms of dollars spent could spike as you're preparing for that big order. Where we want to actually pay attention when it comes to COGS is, what are my COGS as a percentage of revenue? And what this is going to show us is, are we spending consistently on our cost of goods sold? Or are they in fact wild and very different month to month and affecting our profitability in a negative way? So going back to the question, why are COGS so important to track? It's because they are a variable cost. If they are inconsistent month to month, they will eat up the profits of your business. And we want financial sustainability and we want profitability. So we want to keep our cost of goods sold consistent month to month. Okay? So now we know what our COGS are and we know why they're so important to track, right? Now, the key is you want to track them as a percentage of revenue, and you want to track them over time, at least a 6 to 12 month time frame, so that you can really start to see the story of what's going on with your COGS. So now, how can cost of goods sold and tracking your cost of goods sold help you build a profitable food business? Well, when you know what the right target is for your cost of goods sold, it might be 30% for your business, it might be 25% for your business, it might be 40% for your business. When you know what that is and you're tracking your cost of goods sold correctly, you can ensure that you are hitting the right targets month to month, which will produce consistent profitability month to month. This is the crux of what the financial success formula program and the profit program that I offer are all about. Understanding the cost of your business, right? Having them categorized correctly, tracking them in a meaningful way, and then using that information to build financial sustainability and profitability into your business on a consistent basis. Now, it can be difficult for people to wrap their head around, as I know from some of the food business owners that I've talked to wrap your head around how to pull all of this information together. So that is exactly why I created the Financial Success Formula Toolkit. The Know Your Numbers template is designed to help you do this very work that we're talking about today. You can pull your P&L statement from whatever accounting software you use, transfer it into the Know Your Numbers template, and the template does all of the work for you to analyze the data. So then you can then see your cost of goods sold, your operating costs, and your labor costs all as a percentage of revenue. And you can identify which, if any of these categories, needs to be reduced in terms of, amount spent, dollars spent, percentage of revenue, all of those things, in order to produce a profitable outcome, and by how much, right? How much do I need to drive down my cost of goods sold, for example, in order to be profitable? And then how am I going to do that? And how am I going to keep it consistent month to month so that I can ensure predictable financial outcomes for my business? So the template is going to help you to do that. Then there are other tools inside the toolkit that will help you take the next steps to pricing your products right and all sorts of other things that are going to be beneficial to you once you've got this basic knowledge. If you want a little bit more help, a little bit more hands-on support as you go through this work, I would encourage you to download the Financial Success Formula online workshop. I walk you through the process step by step, and then I talk you through the thought process and really understanding the numbers of your business so that you can see what is going on and what needs to change in order to achieve the financial goals that you have for your business. What I like to call finding your financial success formula. Okay, that takes all my time for today. We're just under 13 minutes. We know now what our COGS are, right? And how to define them. We know that tracking them is key for understanding, what's going on inside of our business and understanding whether our costs are indeed out of whack or if they're actually kind of doing all right. And we know how keeping an eye on this information and making any necessary changes can help us build profitable food businesses. I hope you found this information valuable. If you have any other questions regarding COGS, pop them in the comments, or as always, you can email me at hello@sarahdelavan.com, and I'm happy to answer your questions. Have a great day.